Hello, ma'am.
Hi, good evening. Good evening, everybody.
So we can start now.
Yes, of course.
All right. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to today's session hosted by SAR Education. My name is Diksha, and I will be your moderator for this event. We are excited to have you all here today to learn about SEL. The author of SEL, Dr. Aarti Bakshi, will be sharing her knowledge and experience with us during this session. I like to provide the guidelines for today's event. We'll put everyone on mute except for our speaker to avoid any disruption. We also want to make sure that you have an interactive and engaging experience. So please don't hesitate to participate and ask questions. Now, I would like to introduce Dr. Aarti before we begin the session. She is a RCI certified psychologist who has 15 years of experience working with hospitals, universities, and schools. She has a PhD in developmental and clinical psychology. She has been nominated for the CBSE Committee for Special Needs and Committee for Life Skill and Accessibility campaign and worked with them for last 3 years. Without further ado, I will now turn the reins over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Such a pleasure always meeting new faces. So, hi, you guys. I really want to ask before we start any of this, how many of you debated over the sari or the suit you would wear today? So just say, raise your hands by the reaction and say, yeah, I thought I'll wear this, but then I wore this instead. How many of you did that today morning? Oh, thanks, Shubhangi. Thank you for being honest. I must have debated 3 to 4 times. Should I wear this? Should I wear that? See, every decision we take in life makes the next part of our life. Hi, Ms. Rekha. How are you? Yes, Priyanka, you've raised your hand. Thank you so much, Florence. So I do see that all of you are deciding. Now, let's look at it as life, okay? Point A to point B. हम सब चलते जा रहे हैं और सब हम बोलते हैं, hi, good evening, Priyanka. Good evening, everybody. I won't take everybody's names, so I will continue now because I really want this activity and this workshop to be as interactive as possible so that you take a gist of it. When we say welcome back to school, obviously we are meaning going back to school as educators, meeting a new class, seeing all these new students there, making our own assumptions of them, and meeting our old friends. Come to think of it, school for us is not just teaching children. It is also to meet our own friends, to know who will be in our teams. This is also part of it. So going back to school is such a beautiful experience. जिस दिन सुबह उठ के, जिस दिन Monday को उठकर you don't enjoy going back to school, I think somewhere we need a little more special care. And that is what SEL is all about. See, I mean, who doesn't like eating a toast? We do. Who doesn't like eating a paratha? But socho sukha paratha, sukha toast, sukhi idli. Now, what can make it nicer? The butter on it or the chutney on it? That's exactly what SEL is. It gives you that go. It gives you that pep. कि हम क्या कर सकते हैं? तो let's try breaking out social emotional learning or SEL जो सब लोग आजकल यूज करते हैं. SEL, life skills. So what is SEL? Social, well, पूरी दुनिया हमारे social circles में आती है. कोई बहुत पास आता है, like your dearest family, maybe somebody in the family like your mom, your sister, your brother, maybe even husbands, sometimes, even children, sometimes a nice sister-in-law who is a friend to us, sometimes even ma-in-laws who become very kind to us. So all of this comes in the inner circle. Then we come a little more. Then comes in friends who may be colleagues in the beginning. Then they go into our inner circle, become very close friends. But then colleagues, new children, children's parents, children's parents and their siblings. You know, you may sometimes say, "Oh, I taught your elder brother, or your sister went through with me." You know, sometimes you form that. That's your next circle. Then also when you are moving on to your society, your neighborhood, then that also becomes a circle. That's a social circle, obviously. So all of this comes in the social part of it. Emotional, मैं आपको एक simple सा question पूछती हूँ. How are you feeling today? Just write down in your chat. How are you feeling today? Wow, fantastic. Woohoo. Excited, happy, good, superb. All right. What if I told you that in one go, all of us can't feel happy all the time? What if I say, कि abhi, at this moment, you might be excited and happy, but there were moments in the day when you were not feeling so happy. You were feeling a little sad, a little disappointed, a little troubled. So are those all emotions not okay to be having? Tell me that. Are only the happy emotions, the excited emotions worth feeling? Is sadness and anger and disappointed not worth feeling? What do you have to say? There's someone who was raising your hand, Samya, I think. Feeling good today. A lot of you are. Okay, Shubhangi, you say that both are important. Okay, fine. And why do you think it's natural? Oh, it's very natural. Okay. Does someone want to just speak about it? Then you may. And for that, you'll have to raise your hand so that we can see it. Both are important. Okay, every emotion is important. Feeling better today. Soumya, I feel and I hope that you are feeling good today. And by the end of it, I can give you some strategies to make it a little better. Part of life. Yes, it is. Both are important. Okay, may I have the next slide, please? So something like, you know how I say, life should be from one point to straight point. आराम से चल रहे हैं, goal set है, सब कुछ मिल रहा है जिंदगी में. कितनी boring होती जिंदगी. Now imagine what would have happened that every day, everything worked out just perfect. Like, yeah, for holistic development, Vandana, so correct. It was, nothing was wrong. Like your children listened to you. They did all their homework. किसी का project घूमता नहीं. आपके marks ऊपर नीचे नहीं होते. सब कुछ बिल्कुल बढ़िया चलता. Your senior would be happy every day with you. How boring. Now the life में spice ही होता है जो ऊपर नीचे. क्यों? नहीं तो हमारे अपने friends के साथ क्या बात करेंगे? Why would we pick up that phone and talk to each other? How would you say, oh, my day was very good. Oh, and then you would say, it's very good. You know, when we make mistakes, when there are failures, when there are challenges, yes, when there are challenges, that's when we learn to come out of a comfort zone. And the moment we come out of a comfort zone, we become better people ourselves. Hamara relationship with ourselves becomes better. You don't believe it? Well, I must tell you about this, a tiny story. सोचो सुबह उठ के सब कुछ ठीक जा रहा, आपकी मेड भी आ रही है टाइम पे, आपने बस भी टाइम पे पकड़ ली, आप स्कूल भी पहुंच गए, आप वापस भी आ गए, आपने चाय भी पी ली, सब कुछ नॉर्मल चलता रहा. Then the next day the same and the same and the same. What would it be? How would life be? No learning. Correct. That is so true. Quite boring. Monotonous. Would you have just stood up and said, I need to make a better learning plan? Or I think I have had enough of teaching grade 1. I want to teach kindergarten or I want to teach grade 2. या 9th standard को नहीं पढ़ाना, अब मेरे को 6th को पढ़ाना है. No direction. Correct. You guys, you are so bang on. You're great, great, great learners. But more than that, you're great educators. So yes, you're right. Now, social emotional learning, अगर आपको किसी class को happiness सिखाना है, yeah, you want to teach them all about emotions or how to manage or strategize everything, you can't unless you don't have the same skill set. You know, a lot of people say maternal feelings come on their own. No, they don't. They're learned. आपको तो एक छोटा बेबी मिल जाता है, उसकी देखभाल आपने करनी होती है. Or you get a new job in a school, you don't suddenly become all good teachers. You learn one by one. So the next slide, please. Thank you. This learning is where you push your boundaries, where you learn what can be done more than that. And that comes from social emotional learning. Because only if you form a relationship with yourself, can you form a relationship with others. So social emotional learning, according to SEL, कैसे है? Let's break it up. 5 components है, मैं इस तरीके से follow करती हूँ. You can follow it ऊपर नीचे. But fortunately for me, I follow it like this. First is self-awareness. मुझे मेरे बारे में पता कर. What are my strengths? What are the areas that I have not achieved completely yet? मेरी weakness क्या है? पता है weakness पे ही तो goal setting होती है. अगर आपका सब कुछ ही ठीक चल रहा होता है तो आप क्या goal set करोगे? Like today you might say I'm really good at making lesson plans. But tomorrow you say lesson plans तो बना दिया but transdisciplinary नहीं हो रहा मेरे से. मतलब maths और English को कैसे combine करूं so that it's more interesting? Can I read a poem? Can I do a mathematical calculation? Tabhi that's why word problems come in. Maths and English together. That is your self-awareness, knowing yourself. Are you a good dancer? So can you put dance into one of the lesson plans? Then comes in self-management. Okay, सारे emotions है, happiness है, sadness है, disappointment है, anger है. उसको कैसे मैं संभालूं? Can emotions be controlled? What do you think? Can emotions be controlled or can they be managed? Can I manage my emotions or can I control them? अगर किसी ने कुछ करा तो मेरे को क्या गुस्सा आया, क्या मैं गुस्सा ना आए ऐसा भी हो सकती हूँ? Manage. Oh my God, you guys are bang on. Yes, that's correct. Now you are managing your emotions. You're finding strategies to manage your emotions. Now, what are the strategies? It could be mindfulness. It could be dhyan. It could be taking a walk. It could be jumping, running, brain gyms. Brain gyms, we will do a little brain gym exercise just another 5-10 minutes from now. Then only if you've managed yourself can you take a responsible decision making. क्यों? क्योंकि आपके emotions managed हैं. You are not taking a emotional decision. You're taking a responsible decision. Responsible decision क्या होगा? Let me give you an example. PTM का दिन है. The parents of a child who's not doing well at school comes to you. और पेरेंट्स आपको जिम्मेदार मानते हैं कि आपकी वजह से बच्चा अच्छा नहीं कर रहा. आप बोल रहे हो भाई आपने घर में भी तो रिवाइज कराना है. You should be responsible for it. So you know there is a debate or a conflict that is happening. You may not raise your voice, but in your head you're taking a thing that why is this parent not taking this decision? And then suddenly something else happens. The child comes the next day without doing their homework. Now is the responsible decision making. Do I punish this child or do I help this child? And that's a decision only you can make. I can't tell you, do this or do that. But it is because the parents have lost their temper with you and you have to decide. The responsible decision making, jab aapke paas kam time hai, you have to finish your work, you have to finish your curriculum and still help out a child. That's your. Thank you. Find the reason why this child is in this position. Very well done. Yes, because that is the gist of every emotion. And once you've made a responsible decision making, you are going to form strong relationship with this child, with this parent, with this family. But first of all, कोई भी relationship खुद से बनता है. Like Sonalika will make a decision to make a relationship with herself, to love herself. Only then can she pass on that love to all her students in class. Only if she lets go all the emotional baggage of school, of seniors, of everybody at school, can she form a relationship with her own family at home. Kai baar, when we think of our mother's food, or I want you to close your eyes and think of your mom's food. How is it that that taste is so different? Because it was made with love. It was made with a lot of consideration. That is when you love yourself, can you produce things with love? And finally, after you've got all of this correct, then social awareness will come in. अगर मैं बोलूं कि प्लास्टिक यूज ना करो, क्लॉथ बैग्स यूज करो, अगर आप मैनेज कर रहे हो अपने इमोशंस, यू आर इन लव विद योरसेल्फ, you are comfortable sharing this information with the children, you will also say, yes, let's all use plastic की जगह cloth bags. कल एक टी शर्ट लेकर आना, इसी का क्लॉथ बैग बनाएंगे हम सब पुराने टी शर्ट का. Now that decision will happen only if you are in charge of yourself. कई classes में हम लोग जाते हैं ना, we see the whole atmosphere of that class is happy. It's such an excited classroom. Teacher भी खुश रहे, बच्चे भी खुश हैं. It's not that the teacher is more educated. I personally believe she's in love with herself. She likes what she does. So today we're going to start with this love. So have one hand on one shoulder, other hand on the other shoulder, and give yourself that big squeeze. किसी को शाहरुख खान पसंद है ना, सोचो शाहरुख खान is giving you a big hug. Give yourself a big squeeze and give yourself a big smile. Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath and breathe that from your mouth. All right. This is exactly what you're going to be doing when you start today. All right, G, please, next slide. So, this is what I have already asked you. How are you feeling today? And how are you feeling now? See, difference क्या होता है? पूरे दिन में same feeling नहीं होता है. But 10% of a day may be bad. और हम बोलते पूरा दिन खराब गया. But वो सिर्फ 10% time होता है. छोटू सा आधा घंटा maximum, which is a bad time. पर हम उसको बार बार याद करके पूरा दिन खराब कर देते. So what if we didn't do that? All right. Can you manage your emotions? You've all been so good. Okay, the next one. Who is your friend at work? So before taking any time, I want you to pick up your phones. I'm sure they'll be around. Leave a small message for that friend at work. Just a small message that you're special to me, or thank you for everything you do. Whatever. I'm not just giving you any example. Just do it right away. I'm giving you 1 minute. और अगर वर्क नहीं है तो फैमिली को देना भी अच्छा लगता है कॉम्प्लीमेंट. It's so surprising when your family gets a message like that you're important to me, you're special to me. Oh, that is such a sweet one. My God, you guys, you're making me all very mushy. Such a beautiful set of messages. But I'm asking you to do it on your phones. Now, thank you for sharing them with me. That is very kind. But it's totally your call. Put it on your phones. Send it to the person you would like to send this to. Okay. Thank you so much. All right. If anyone gets a message back, you must share that on the group. Okay. Now, my next question is, are you kind to yourself? Oh, gosh, you guys, you got it so much. Okay. Are you kind to yourself? अपने आप को forgive करते हो? अपने आप को बोलते हो कितनी अच्छी हूं मैं, कितना अच्छा हूं मैं? Do you say that? Or do you just say, oh, I couldn't do this? Oh, thank you for being so honest. Well, great. Usharani, wonderful that you're doing it. Oh, Debelina, I know that's most of us. We don't. Sometimes we remember, but most of us don't. We're very critical of ourselves. And you know, with that critical viewpoint, हम बाकियों को भी वैसी critical तरीके से देखते हैं. Like, she must have done it on purpose. जान के करा होगा इसने. Because we're not being kind to ourselves, we will look at people also the same way. Yeah, I know. So I want you to do one more thing, okay? I'm going to give you one more strategy. One was the self-hug, you remember? Giving yourself a big hug, okay? Second was you're taking a deep breath and breathing out. Let me show you a third one. Ready? Now just watch me how I do it. Pinch your brows. जहां पर बिंदी पहनी है ना मैंने, वहां से शुरू कर रही हूं मैं. And go into little circles on your forehead. Now go from here till your ears and pull your ears in all directions. Again, start from the middle, go till your ears and pull your ears in all directions. Now, tap underneath your eye. Tap here between the nose and the lips. Hold it here and hold your hand tight like this. Press it hard. Stretch your hands up and take a deep breath and do that. Okay, this is the fastest way to massage all your senses. जब बहुत गुस्सा चढ़ रहा हो ना, go just outside that area जहां पर सबसे ज्यादा गुस्सा चढ़ रहा है, like उस कमरे से बाहर निकलो. Yes, beauticians do it during facial because this is exactly what is the most relaxing points of your entire body. Just please do it. Would you remember? Pinch your brows, go into circles, right in the chin, go up, pull your ears in all directions, tap underneath your eye, tap underneath between your nose and your lips, and then hold this like this and stretch. All right? Remember this massage and you will never go wrong. Okay, I have a question to ask you. When we talk on social awareness, I have two questions. Who should a child speak to about an unsafe touch? किससे बात करनी चाहिए जी? Mom, okay. Mother, all right. Parents. And what if it just happened at school? School teacher, okay. Yes, thank you. So we cannot be unaware when they come to speak to us. And when a situation like this happens, please tell your supervisor so that things can be taken into consideration. Don't say, nahi beta, kuch nahi hua hoga, aapko lag raha hai. Let them speak and please follow it up with your supervisor. Maybe you have a coordinator. Maybe, no brothers and sisters. Sorry, Miss Sunita. I agree to mother, father, and teacher. That's it. No brother, sister. Because they are also little children. They can't take so much of a decision at that moment. But the child should also, yes, the person who you believe and trust with. Perfect, great. But a trusted adult. It has to be a big person. It cannot be a child. All right. Now, I'm going to be covering a little bit on safe, unsafe touch because I feel that is very important in everybody's life. Okay. Could a single parent with a child be a family? Next slide, please. Do you agree or do you not? Could a single parent be a family? Okay. There is a lot of ups and downs on yes or no. Okay, so what is a family? What are the qualities that you feel is in a family? A family is a set of people who trust each other, who can share their ideas with each other, who can speak without feeling scared, and who love each other enough to help each other. अगर ऐसा देखें तो कई बार जैसे हम नहीं बोलते friends are better family members because they were there for us. Yes, safe and secure bonds. You are correct. Now see, I've already covered for you. Yes, very well said, Rukmini. Well done on that. Well done. All that I've spoken till now, I've covered over here. From self-awareness to social awareness. Now comes in, how are we doing these back to school activities using the SDG goals? Are we talking on good health? Are we talking well-being? Are we talking about quality education or gender equality or partnership or equality or any of that? So let's look at a few activities. Okay. Next slide, please. May I have the next slide, please? Thank you. Okay, so why SEL? SEL is important because this is what research says. You've heard of Scholastic. They did this research and Nimhans Bangalore did the second research. Okay, they have come up with this kind of a analysis. Okay, 11% academic achievement बच्चों का higher गया. तो आप बोलते हो how much does it matter? छोटे बच्चों में कितना ऊपर नीचे doesn't matter. When I say it is between the board exams, if they were comfortable with themselves, they could focus more on their studies. With the same amount of studies, they started getting 11% more marks, 13% more in maths and science. That was the final analysis that came. But a nicer thing happened. Because they were comfortable and they were loving themselves, पिटाई, bullying, एक दूसरे को तंग करना went down by 42%. So obviously it will be a calmer class. It will be a lesser trouble class. So lesser troubling class, then obviously the teachers also happier. Attendance responded better, especially in the higher classes. छोटे बच्चे सब आते हैं. It's as we grow, you know, when specifically from 9th onwards, children start skipping classes in schools. That is exactly what happened. They started attending classes. They became more confident in speaking. They were not scared of talking about their failures. They started taking responsible decisions. But the सबसे बड़ा superpower in the world, I feel, is be able to ask for help. जब ego बीच में नहीं आता है ना, बच्चे आपको help के लिए पूछ सकते हैं. And that happens when we are okay with them making a mistake and trusted adults are there to support them. That is the time when children ask for help. Weaknesses make goals. So goal setting happens only when we understand our weakness, and achievement happens when we set the goal and break it up. How do we break up a goal? Is a social goal. Okay, I want to have friends. I am lonely at school. Is it an emotional goal? I get very angry at very small things. Is it an academic goal? That I want to become better at maths. I want to be better at my social studies. Or is it a personal goal? I want to be more confident that I can speak on stage or raise my hand to speak at school, inside the classroom. Now, all of these goal settings are small, but they make up so much once they're divided. Resilience, आजकल तो सभी लोग बात कर रहे हैं ना resilience की. Resilience एक simple तरीके से समझाती हूँ. Mistake बनाया, give up नहीं करा, फिर से try करा. That is resilience. Mistake बनाया, give up करा. That is not resilience. That is fixed mindset. For resilience, growth mindset. Growth mindset माने big words, huh? But it basically means I tried something, I made a mistake, I took a feedback from my teacher, I tried again, I got 50% correct, I tried once more, I took another feedback, maybe from my mother, my elder brother, elder sister, maybe a senior, again went to my teacher, took a third feedback, and then I produced the work. That is resilience. It could be 100 meters में भागने की कोशिश है. पहला दिन उठ के तो थोड़ी ना बच्चा स्पोर्ट्स एथलेटिक बन जाता है. It's practice, right? Not to give up. That is resilience. Okay, the next one, please. Next slide. If you guys have questions, you'll have to ask me. But now what I really want you to do is play with me. So I'm going to give you a few activities and let's just play together. Okay, next slide, please. So जो मैं आपको बताया ना, self-awareness, self-management, responsible decision making, relationship skills, social awareness. I've just broken down a few activities for each one of them. So I'm just hoping that we can cover at least 3 and I can run you through at least 2 more. That's what I want. Would you be able to change my slide, please? Thank you. Okay, simple cheez karo, ek face bana do. Make an oval face, okay? Oval. Just make an oval face, beach mein ek line bana do. Or fatafat. Matlab you got just 2 minutes, huh? One side is your inner face, one side is your outer face. आपको मुझे बताना है कि अगर मुझे घबराहट ना हो, किसी का डर ना हो, तो कौन से इमोशन में आराम से दिखा सकती हूँ या दिखा सकता हूँ? What am I comfortable showing? That will be in your outer face. What am I comfortable showing is in your outer face. And what I'm not comfortable and I show only myself is in your inner face. Emotions, which I show only myself or hide from the world, is from my inner face. Ah, beautiful. I love that one. Our guts to do any work, our confidence. Okay. Strength. Okay. So are there any emotions that you would not want to show the world? Sonali, a smile? Yes, a smile covers everything. Has anybody smiled from year to year like a clown? Ever try karke dekho? It's a beautiful way of massaging your face again. Okay, just a smile, like a big smile from like this much, huh? From here to here. You know, for women alone, I will say, if you do that, no, your monthly concerns will get over. If I can just simply say it in that. It is the easiest way because the jaws are connected to our inner organs. And if we smile ear to ear, na, it calms down also. So you won't have any pains. Okay, so I think we're going to just see a tiny video because I want to show you just the activity that we did right now, how does it do? Do you want to switch it off and switch it on a separate thing? Oh, weakness and fear. Swati, that was so gutsy to speak about it. Thank you so much for being so honest. Thank you. And I'd always say, whenever you do an activity like this, give yourself a big hug. You ready for the big hug? One hand, second hand, give yourself a big hug. Yes, please play. Thank you.
Party Bakshi, we're doing chapter 3 for grade 5, Emotions Defined. And our first page is my inner face and my outer face. Let me explain. Do you think you have two faces? No, not at all. But there are certain masks we wear, masks of emotions. You see, when you're really excited and happy, you are not scared of showing those emotions. But what about fear? Or when someone says something terrible to you and you feel hurt right in the middle, here, what do you do then? Do you show it? Or do you cry alone? You see, when we try to hide our emotions and we keep it to ourselves, that's what becomes our inner face. Because that's what we are not comfortable showing the world. So tell me, is your inner face and your outer face with all these emotions the same? Do you feel when you are happy, you can show it, and when you're sad, you can't? Each emotion is equally important, be it sadness, disappointment, happiness, or joy. So never be scared, children, to show those emotions. We are going to be learning these skills. This is what master skills are all about, the master skills of emotions, to make you a better version of yourself. So come aboard, come and join me, when you would be able to show your inner and outer feelings comfortably, and when you can reach out to a friend who's feeling the same. So stay with me. See you soon.
All right, the next slide. ठीक है, हमारे को समझ आ गया कि this is my emotion. Okay. Yeah, I like the music, but we'll have to switch it off, please. All right, but this is not me. So I wonder, it has just moved on. We'll go back to our slides. Okay, so after you have understood, okay, these are my emotions, my positive emotions, my not so comfortable emotions, and finally have got a hang of it. So मैं क्या करूं? How do I manage them? So I want you to look at your hand. And in your hand, think about all that you can control. Okay, so I'm going to ask you a question, so you give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down, okay? Can you control or manage? Can you manage your own voice? कितना ऊपर बोलते हो, कितना नीचे बोलते हो? Can you manage that? Okay, great, thank you. Can you manage if your maid is coming to your home today or tomorrow? Can you control that? Most will say no. Can you manage how much your children score, your own children, your brother, your sister, your nephew, your nieces, how much they get as marks at school? Can you manage that? Can you manage how you respond to a situation? कि perhaps ऐसा नहीं है कि आप पे कोई चीख रहा है, but सोचो कि एक parent आया बहुत दुखी था, चीख रहा है आप पे. Can you manage how you respond to them? Yes. Many have been very honest and said yes, and many have been even more honest and said sometimes, because गुस्सा तो आता है, खुद को भी आता है, but can I manage it? Oh, that was very nice, Isha. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That was really cute. Do you have strategies to calm yourself down? So the question to ask is these one. What happened that makes me feel this way? Is this emotion helping me to solve my problem, or is it making my problem even worse? अगर बच्चा नहीं पढ़ रहा और आप उस पे चीख रहे हो, does it solve the concern or does it make it worse? So take a deep breath, hug yourself, do that beautician mask, the whole massage, smile from ear to ear, take that. And if you're a dancer, you are in luck, because the maximum amount of oxytocin or the happy hormones comes in when you move around. So जो yoga करता है, exercise करता है, Madhumita, I'd love to hear about, sometimes it gets worse. I would love to hear that one. Just try that out and then take a moment to this thing. To respond to a situation should be done with a calm mind. If we do it with emotional mind, then we are very angry. So I want you to take the same hand and do it like this. This is exactly how your brain is, okay? Emotion aaya. This is the cap. This is the cap that holds your emotion, okay? If your emotion is too much, this is what happens to your brain. You're going to be reactive. What does it look like? Yes, that's exactly what you will do. You will bite them, sting them, scream at them, say bad things. The control is hold on. And the only thing that holds this is deep breaths. Only thing that holds it is deep breaths. So the deep breath, which I've just taught you, a shorter way of doing the same deep breath, tip of your tongue to your palate and concentrate. Chota breath. Take a short breath in, short breath out. मुंह हल्का सा खुला है आपका. And that calms you down. All right. So you got a very simple activity to try with your children, the inner face and the outer face, to know their strengths, to know their weaknesses. That's your self-awareness. ये वाला जो अभी हमने करा, what is in my control, is your self-management wala activity, which you can try out again with your children. And ये जो छोटे babies नीचे बनाए हैं ना, I've already written down what can be done. Like self-management, like my voice, the tone of my voice, my reaction, the movement of my hands and feet. Like ऐसे करके अगर कोई बात कर रहे, so obviously the other person will also get like, I'll also hit you back. The next slide, please. Okay. Someone talked about the safe and unsafe touch. So I want to again reiterate. The first relationship we have is with ourselves. And ये जो traffic signal lights है ना, सबको समझ आती है. Red, yellow, green. Okay. This is a very easy way of teaching safe and unsafe touch. Yellow is the parts that if you are comfortable someone touching you. Green hai, everyone can touch you, like a high five, fist bump, handshakes. ये normal है. कोई ऐसे आपके सिर पे ऐसे करे and not hitting you, this. That is all right. That's green. What is not green is if you are being touched on your face and you don't like it. The lips, the face in a certain way, the chest, between your legs, that is absolutely red. That is unsafe touch. Who can touch you there? Only yourself. So once we start explaining that to our children, that this is unsafe touch, it becomes so much easier for a child to know that this was touched. Now, there is a very small line, and we are very traditional people in India, and we don't want our children to know the real names of our organs. But if we simply say something like chest, upper chest, between the legs, it also becomes at least easier for the younger children. To give different names to the organs confuses the child and troubles. And I'll give you an example. There was a teacher who taught all the good names, all the right names to the children. Obviously, permission taken from the principal, obviously for obvious reasons. Now, the mother at home taught this child to say that these were cookies, like biscuits, cookies, and said, there is this uncle who comes over and takes my cookies, touches my cookies. And the teacher didn't understand. It was much later when the child carried on saying, she made the child sit down. She got her senior to sit down with the child also. And she said, beta, what is this uncle touching? And he pointed. That's when the parents were told. I want you to please understand. Just saying something as simple as chest, upper chest, or all your parts between your legs is okay to talk, even if you don't want to take names. At least let the child speak those words to be taken as a confidential POXO report to be written. Otherwise, nothing can be helped for the child. Okay, now we're coming to the support system. One is, I will take all the questions at the end, please. I'll give you 10 minutes. I'm just closing down another 5 minutes. Then you can ask me questions. Would that be fine? All right. So even if you have your trusted adults, a child needs to know, who do I go to if the concern happens? So you yourself have said, mommy, daddy, reiterated. A lot of little children, even in grade 3 and 4, don't know their full address. They don't know the landmark. They don't know mummy's and daddy's number. They don't know landline number. So just please make sure that they have practiced. You know, one is, mera ghar idhar hai. That is not how a child is going to be able to find out. So actual addresses should be known. Do you have like a proper system when you take the children out? I'm sure you all do. That prevents unsafe touch. Who do they go to if they can't find their own teacher at school? Who do they go to? Do you have an area, a medical room or a reception area, who that person can phone you up to call her? What is it? So that system has, that support system has to be built. Next slide, please. So this is all about social awareness, relationship skills. Like a question I asked you, can a single parent be a family with a child? Now, if you look at this picture, in a very simple way, is showing you all of it. Mother, father, child, family, mother and a child, family, extended family, mother, father, uncle, aunt, grandparents and child. Grandparents and child only, grandparents and mother, father and child. See, different kinds of families. Now, this is a conversation not only on relationship, but also on social awareness. Because if we accept this as families, then talking to other children who may say, I have only a mom or I have only a dad, will not be a question mark or a moment of teasing or bullying. Next slide, please. Or something like, why are you wearing pink? You're wearing pink. You're a boy. You can't wear pink. You can't play with dolls. You're a boy. You can't cry. Girls can't be playing football. Now, this gender equality or gender stereotype comes in right from our own families and our own classrooms. If you are so powerful as a teacher, and if you can initiate this conversation, this is an activity which will be beautiful. Can boys wear pink? Can all children have short hair? Can boys have long hair? Can they wear a headband? And I just wanted to give you just a few simple things. You can always have an activity on this, which forms such an amount of not just relationship skills amongst your children, but if you realize it's self-awareness, self-management, a responsible decision-making, not to bully somebody. Can boys paint their nails? वैसे तो in school, nobody can paint their nails. That's different. But can a boy paint their nail? That's also a debate to be. Next slide, please. May I request for the next slide, please? Thank you. Now, I love this one. You know, what if I did not fail? What would I have tried? Try thinking for yourself. अगर डर नहीं होता कि मैं फेल होती या फेल होता, मैं क्या ट्राई करता? Yeah, how big is my problem? You know, sometimes a small thing becomes a big problem in our head. Like for a child, losing a new stationery box becomes a big problem. But to the parent and the teacher will be like, beta mil jayega, lost and found mein hoga. I mean, just a simple thing. How big is my problem? When a child comes to know, this is a beautiful activity to do with different things at school. What is happening? You know, I forgot to go to the PE, or I haven't got my swimming costume for the swimming lesson, or I forgot my hockey, or I have not brought in my project. Is it a big problem? Is it a small problem? Just to initiate. And what do I do with it? What are the strategies to calm myself down after this is happening? Yes, it's all challenges. And that's where the mindset, the growth mindset, the power of yet. I am not the best at maths yet. With regular practice and solving my sums and managing my tables and asking for help, I can be. So the power of yet. And how big is my problem? Next slide, please. All right, and that comes to the end of it. You have all the information. I've given you email. If you really need to contact me and write into me, you can obviously send it on this, or I shall give you my email and you can write into me. And may we please ask the slides to be switched off, and I'm ready for my questions. Okay, please just switch off this slide. Okay, who'd like to ask me a question, please? Anything that came up to your mind, any thought or something that you're going to take with you? Which activity would you like to try with your this thing? I have so many questions always. And like you realize, I'm always very excited whenever I'm doing social emotional learning. For me, it is as exciting to work with the kindergartners as it is to work with teachers or even postgraduate students. And I do similar activities with them on self-awareness and self-management. Unka response alag hota hai. That's what I've realized. Okay, Rakhi would like to talk. Okay, how to deal with weak and dull students? Anjali, weak or dull is, if it is just marks, then we have to set a goal for them. What are they weak in? Are they weak in English, in creative writing? Are they weak in learning, like memory? Are they weak in maths? Everything is with practice, everything, and with the right tutor. So sometimes mummies become great tutors, but mummies don't know how to teach. You know, many mummies are not. I will, you're giving me too many questions. Let me just finish this one, please. So how do I make it up? Can we close this child's, why are they feeling scared? Is it peer pressure or is it exam pressure कि वो बच्चा perform नहीं कर सकता है? जो हम जैसे हम समझ पाते हैं कि घर में शायद पेरेंट्स बहुत लेट आ रहे हैं, उसके पास टाइम ही नहीं है, वो कुछ और कर रहा है during the time when he should be revising, then just tell him with every this thing. जब notes बनाते हैं ना, बेटा revise your notes and come and talk to me, blurt out. So first thing in the morning, अपना एक बच्चा उसके साथ buddy system बना लो, who teach each other. Children teach each other very well. Make a buddy system. If one child is getting tired, make 4 or 5 children around this to be managing. All right, so I'm going to go one by one on the questions. This is, I hope you can get that one. Okay, how to deal with children using foul language. Essential agreements. Essential agreements. Class का essential agreements करो. ये चीज करोगे तो ये इसका रिस्पॉन्ड है. कुछ तो उसका ऑप्शन होना चाहिए. लाइक अगर हम फाउल वर्ड्स यूज करेंगे, नो फाउल वर्ड्स इन द क्लास, नो मीन वर्ड्स इन द क्लास. अगर आपने ये बनाया तो उसका रेपरकशन क्या है? Should this child sit down quiet for 20 minutes? So then it has to be a peace corner has to be made. छोटी सी जगह, एक कुर्सी रख दो, टेबल रख दो, सामने सिर्फ ड्राइंग कलरिंग का मटेरियल रखो. अगर वो बच्चा बहुत चीख रहा, चिल्ला रहा है, गुस्सा हो रहा है, फाउल लैंग्वेज यूज कर रहा है, प्लीज फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल फाइंड आउट who is this child traveling with. Inform the parents also. Sometimes there are helps who are using this language. Sometimes there are people in the playground who are using this language. Sometimes they're in the bus who are using this language. Who's using this language? Is the child watching too much of TV or has the technology inside their own room that they're watching too much which shouldn't be watched? So make essential agreements. Uska repercussion kya hai? Sitting with the teacher to eat lunch. Quietly sit down. No movement. कुछ तो बनाना पड़ेगा ना, punishment नहीं दे सकते. But let the child at least think about, reflect about that situation. Okay, how to deal with single child parents, just like any other family. They're not different. If we stop feeling that they are different, we'll accept them. It's all right. COVID, I think, taught us how to lose people. It's a very sad thing that we had to learn. That people we took for granted, people we thought will be there with us for life, we lost them. We found them sick. So single parents are no different. If they love their child, they are there for PTM. It's like every other family. Don't treat them different, please. Okay. How can we control naughty children? Aha! Naughty class. I must teach you a brain gym. Okay, try this. Just try it with the hand that you write with. Just try it. And I have to go on to the next one. Do it with the opposite hand. अब सोचो एक मिरर है बीच में, in out in out. एक ही डायरेक्शन में नहीं कर रही, हाँ? In out in out. Now try writing your with one hand cursive writing में अपना नाम. अब दूसरे हाथ से लिखने की कोशिश करो. अब सोचो मिरर इमेज है और दोनों एक साथ शुरू करो. जब क्लास चीखती है तब चीखो मत. Go bass. Just stand in the middle in silence. It really works out. Have class monitors who will do funny things like follow the leader. Raise your hand, stand on one leg, become a tree. ये सब funny चीजें कराओ क्लास में. बहुत मजा आता है बच्चों को, वो quiet हो जाते. And specifically, I must tell you, the naughtiest children are the most intelligent. They may not get the full marks, but they are the most intelligent. They take your lesson to a higher level. Always see. So use them to run around in your class. वो नीचे बैठ नहीं सकते हैं. उन्हें बोलो बेटा सबकी क्लासरूम की कॉपीज कलेक्ट करो, सबको कॉपीज दो, सबको पेंसिल दो. Just check of all the water bottles are on a one single line. Give them work. Make them monitors to take attendance. Take attendance after the lunch break. Which child is left, which child is not. Naughty child है, उसे तो सब पता है कि कहाँ पर क्या हो रहा है. He can be your biggest positive in class. Okay, foul language, I've covered it. All right, how to deal with hyperreactive kids. Like I said, give them work, make them responsible. They are very bright children. Don't get angry with them distracting. उनको खड़ा होकर लिखना allow करो. पीछे last bench पे भी खड़ा कर दो. If they are disturbing in the front, make them stand right at the end. How to deal with child which is normal at home but in school is very silent and not shy. Shy बच्चा है. Let them speak the news. जब वो नीचे देखकर news पढ़ते हैं ना, they are not scared of speaking up. Allow them with things that they are confident in. If they are normal at home and they can be part of the class by just speaking the news, just reading the news, giving the essential agreements for the day, doing an activity which we have just tried out. Let them be in charge. on a PPT, on a chart. They can just put the chart and just point and say, now let's all do it together. And they can just do this much. They're not speaking a word, but they're getting confidence of just standing in front of class and talking. Some children always seek attention, or they need love. They always need love. They need hugs. Teach your class how to give them big hugs. It helps. Teach your class how to do these massages. It's a self-help. It's a self-love. कोई बच्चे बहुत ज़्यादा तंग करते हैं ना, make them do this. It'll always help out. Okay. All right. So my last question to you, how can we deal with children addicted to mobile and TV? And do activities with them. I pick up my book. They have such fun activities. Do go ahead and do it. Okay. How to deal with parents who refuse to accept their child's mistake. And for every mother, look at your own self. For every mother, a child is the most genius child now. What you're talking? How do we make them accept their child's mistake? No. We say if we find them a strategy. I think, like if the child is too loud, you say, child has got leadership qualities, but is not social. Is sending those children away. With this leadership, you want this child to stand for leadership. No, make this child quiet so he becomes a good listener. Give them a strategy. Don't get angry with them. Please suggest a few strategies for students with ADHD. Oh, I've just given you so many. Make them responsible. Make them give and take notebooks. Make them tidy up your classroom with you. Make them class monitors. Be there for you. All right. Anything else that you would... Now, I want to know, what is that one activity which you will try doing it? When a child is not concentrating, make them stand up and do the same activity, please. Lazy 8 activity, brain gym, yes. How to deal with a student who has lost confidence? Make them read or point and do simple things like brain gym, lazy 8, standing on a leg. Let them stand over there and do it. And small wins are great wins. Like simple thing like, wow, what a beautiful thing you did. Sabke samne us bacche ke liye clap kara do. That builds up the social happiness. Small wins. Sab bacche ko 20 by 20 nahi milna chahiye. 17 by 20 is also good. 15 by 20 is also good. It's a movement forward. Okay. Give me, guys, what is that one thing that you would like to? Thank you so much, Gurleen. That's very kind of you. How to deal with children who are orally good but can't pen it down. Well, I have tried out during COVID to leave me a video. Send me a video. Give me an oral recitation. I give them that choice. I wonder if you are okay to give that choice. Scribes भी तो करते हैं ना हम एग्जाम्स में. बच्चा बोलता है और कोई और लिखता है. उसी तरह से technology is there today. Allow them to do it in front of you. Okay, you will be implementing. How very interesting. Oh, that's so kind. You guys have been just absolutely kind to me. Okay, so what is your one takeaway? You guys, if you're going to give me so many compliments, you've already made my day like absolutely worth it. Thank you so much. Thank you. All right. Any last one question and then we wrap it up? The head exercise. You like big. Oh, by the way, you do that beautician massage long enough, you look younger by the day. Thank you very much. You are most welcome. So one thing which you would like to take up, would it be the face, the inner and the outer face? Would you try that first? Or would you try out what's in my control? Or would you try out how big is my problem? Or what if I did not fail? What would I do? Or something like, can all boys wear pink or have long hair? Thank you so much. It's been most kind and you have been such a lovely audience. Raki, do you still have a question? Please type it in. I'll answer that. Your hands raised. Rest, I don't see any hands raised. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much for such a wonderful and informative session.
Thank you.
Deserve all the compliments.
Thank you.
And I also want to thank everyone for attending and participating in the session. It was beautiful. And tomorrow we have another session planned for you all. So we are hoping to see you there. Thank you all and have a very good day. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you.